Right, let's start with passage 2. There are a lot of problems with this passage. I almost didn't want to make this video because, as I'll point out, this passage is very strange. So if you struggled with this one, don't worry about it too much. It's different to all of the others, as I will explain. But I'll make the video nonetheless just for those who want to see where the answers are. Now, the first problem is that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 multiple choice. Then at the end here, there are 3 of these complete the sentence. But if we look at the answers, and these are the answers, this is just a screenshot of the answers that are in the real book. There are 6 multiple choice here and 2 of these sentence matching at the end. So immediately that shows that there is a problem. Maybe they printed the wrong set of questions, or they printed the wrong text or something. I don't know if you remember in reading 1 there was a problem over here. They gave the incorrect answer and then a couple of answers where there were more than one possible answer. So this whole reading 4 of Cambridge 11 is problematic, and you can be forgiven for just not doing it. It actually makes me quite angry because this is supposed to be Cambridge and they're supposed to be the best, and then they give us something like this. And what this does is it makes students very worried, it makes students panic, it makes them confused and makes them doubt themselves. And it can take a student a long time to recover confidence after a test like this. So don't let it affect you too much. The problem is with them, not with you for this test. But anyway, let's do what we can do. So the first thing you do when you see multiple choices, don't do it last, but go and find where it comes from. They often say which paragraph it's in. So that's first, that's the third, and then we'll be looking for that, which is all quite easy to find. 1, 2, 3. Bringing up baby was question 4, and then there it is over there. So we know that the multiple choice is coming from paragraphs 1 to 5 up to there, which probably means the true false not given is going to be taken from here somewhere. So that's the first thing that you do. Then find the true false not given, and as you'll notice, this is all about background music, background music, background music. Every question has background music in it, so you need to find background music. Now initially we would expect to see it over here, but it's not. This is another strange thing about this test, is they've just completely ignored this paragraph. Background music starts over here. Okay, fine. So we need to find where background music ends. I don't see background music over here, but I do see it over here. So quite quickly we can find that the true false not given comes from these 2 paragraphs. Then we're going to look at circle words, but there's nothing really circle words. This is another thing that is strange about this test. These true false not given are quite unusual. I don't really know what they're trying to do here. So first of all, there's no circle words. That's a circle word. But the rest of it, it's just about this likely to be. So all of these questions are using this kind of language, which is fine. Sometimes true false not given does test this. Is it likely? Is it not likely? But then they don't really test this. They test other parts of the questions. These are just kind of, does it happen or doesn't it happen questions. There isn't any of this bigger, smaller, increase, decrease kind of language, which again is quite different. So all we can do then is dive in and see if we can find it. Audiences are likely to be surprised if a film lacks background music. There's nothing here about audiences, but we're looking over here. Can you see something about lacks? That's the key word here. A very difficult one to start off with. Where is a synonym or paraphrase for lacks? And that's it over there. Absent, absence. If something is absent, it means it's not there. That means that the film lacks it. So we were actually looking at this noticeable and surprised. This is really the circle word, the testing language that they're testing. And the question basically that we need to ask is it, if something is noticeable, is it surprising? And the answer is yes, it's close enough. If you notice something, you can say you are surprised by it. But it's not very close. It's a tricky one. What they're saying here is ubiquitous means that it's everywhere. In this context, it means in every movie. So the film music is in every movie, so that if it's not there, then the audience will notice it. And maybe another way of saying that is that if it's not there, the audience will be surprised. So a difficult one to start off with. That one is true because yes, the audience will be surprised. Let's try another one. Background music may anticipate a development in a film. Anticipate, difficult language. It's like expect, come before it comes maybe, and show you that something is coming. And the word there is foreshadows. Foreshadows is the synonym for anticipate, and this is really difficult language. I don't know what they're doing. This is supposed to be, even if this was reading 3, it would be difficult. So maybe the linking language helps you a bit. Here's a new point coming. The background music anticipates a change in mood. For example, an approaching disaster. So that can be a development, a change in mood. For example, a disaster. So that's a development. So the music does anticipate this development. Again, true. More effect on some people than others. This is the only one where I thought you could do a circle word. And this one is not given because we don't see anything here about comparing some to others. May help the audience make connections within the film. That's not so bad. I think that one was quite easy. May. It's in the question. Help and aid, audience, viewer, and linking and connecting. But now this is very strange because there are 3 trues, and I've never seen that in a set of 5 questions. That made me wonder, was this one correct? Was this one correct? And I went back and looked, and yes, it is correct. So this is another thing that's very strange about this test. Tend to be aware of how the background music is affecting them. Are they aware or not aware? And very difficult. I don't see anything about aware. So it's some kind of paraphrase. And it's over here. Our minds. Does our mind note it? If our mind notes something, it means that we are aware of it. But only our subconscious mind notes it. Sub means under. Our undermind notes it, so that means we are not aware of it. Incredibly difficult. It's a good word to remember. A student used it once in an essay, and I was very impressed, if you can use that word. Anyway, that one we are not aware because only our subconscious mind is aware. So again, 3 trues, 1 not given, 1 false. I've never seen this before in a Cambridge test. Always with 5 questions, it's 2, 1, 2. This is 3, 1, 1. I've never seen that before. Usually I've done so many of these tests, I can feel the person who's doing the test, and I can sort of recognize them. But the person who made this test, I've never met this person before. I've never done a test by this person before. They're doing everything differently and actually incorrectly. Anyway, let's move on to probably to these next. Right, let's move on to these matching sentences. Now, usually you'll be looking for which language you're going to scan for. Sometimes the scanning language is here, sometimes it's in the question. Usually it's the shorter one, but these ones are both long. Makes it a little bit more difficult, but the scanning language is actually in the question in this example, and they've paraphrased over here. How do you know that? I think just look for the shorter one. Also, there's only 3 of these, there's 5 of these. So there can't be scanning language in all of these because it's not the question. So the scanning language is here, but even so, it's not really great. We're going to look for all of those, probably just look for the nouns, and I found one verb over there that might be there. Anyway, it's quite a strange passage again because we've used all of this, so where do you start scanning? And you could maybe go over there because they didn't use that paragraph, but you should see quite quickly that it's not there. So then you've got no other choice but to go to the beginning and start scanning for all of those things. Fortunately, it's quite close to the beginning. Feelings and motivations was the first one that I picked up. So I'll start and do that one immediately because we want to delete one of these if possible. Feelings and motivations of characters become clear. As is the case with stage drama, that's nothing, you don't need that. Dialogue serves to tell the story and expresses feelings and emotions of characters as well. So dialogue tells the story and expresses the feelings and emotions. Dialogue is the most important word there, so we have dialogue over here. If the film, the audience's own concerns, no, see, no, nothing about a director and nothing about these. So this is the only real possibility. One thing you might notice here is the kind of grammar can help you a bit. They've got audience there, so it wouldn't be there if this was the next one for number 24. They would say they over here. So you can quite quickly see that A, B, and C and D aren't the answer to number 24 because they wouldn't repeat audience, they would say they. If you see that sort of thing. Anyway, so this was A. So we'll go and look for 24 there. It was actually very difficult. I was looking for controlled and different parts of a film. Really couldn't find it because it's not there. It's a very difficult paraphrase. And it's just over there. Create desired effect is control the audience. It's this sentence here, which makes it very difficult. These three tracks must be mixed and balanced to produce the necessary emphases, to produce the desired effects. And it's really not really a fair question because this is nowhere. I can't find anything like this. But the whole point of this paragraph really was this sentence over here, these three essential ingredients. This whole passage is about the three essential ingredients. And they repeat them over here. So that's really what they're getting at. But I don't know how students were supposed to find this. It's a bit disappointing. So it's this one over here, these three essential ingredients. You can maybe delete this. There's no own concerns. There's no awareness of the director, and there's nothing about actor. So just from elimination, maybe you could get that it was C. And then finally, seems to be a real person rather than an actor. It's over here. It's not an actor, but another human being, and that's the real person. So we needed to actually go before. When voice fits this, what is this? Nobody knows. Gestures is hand signals or body language. So we've got the three things here, the voice, and this is actually appearance and body language or hand signals. And it's those three over there. The voice, the moves is the hand signals, the gestures, and that's the physiognomy or whatever it was. So that one is E. Alright, so I'm just going to go really quickly through these multiple choice because there's nothing I can really teach you with multiple choice. It's just you've got to read all of these, see if you can find the target sentence that connects it up, but they will try and trick you. There will be lots of false scanning words here. At this stage, if you're pushed for time, you need to move on to reading 3. Don't be afraid to just say B, 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 and move on. You'll save yourself the time. Problem with multiple choice is it's almost like you do a true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false, and then you get 1 mark for all of that work. It's a lot of time for 1 mark, so really leave it to the end. If you have time, do it. Otherwise, just fill in C, 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 or whatever. Right, so I'll just show you where these are. 14 is B. It would be wrong to overlook the contribution of sound. We cannot afford to underestimate the importance of film sound. Again, I wish I could tell you some tricks and tips to do these, but there really are none. Why does he refer to Humphrey Bogart? Therefore or thus, so the answer will be in the sentence before that, to tell us why does he refer to Humphrey Bogart. The audience perceives, or that's just sees, little or no difference between the character and the actor. So the answer is A, it's personalities they're talking about. They're not talking about visuals, they're not talking about feelings, and it's nothing really about dialogue. It's just that there doesn't seem to be much difference between their personalities. You just had to guess, really. In the third paragraph, the writer suggests that. So then just read through these, see if you can spot anything. And what they were getting at was, in their example, this word means dull or boring, and they're trying to say that they used dull language deliberately to show something else. And it's this one over here. They use this dull for another reason. So 16C. Okay, no easy way to do it. Read through these and then read through the paragraph, see if you can understand what they're saying. This whole paragraph is about how there is a whirlwind of activity, there is lots of dialogue, non-stop dialogue at high speed. And this dialogue, this means emphasizes this character, but also the film itself. So the dialogue is used to show something about the film. And that's it over there. Key elements of the film, emphasizes. What did they say? Underscores. Yeah, underscores, emphasizes. Maybe you could have deleted some of this because we didn't see anything about that. We didn't see that it was the best ever produced. Didn't see anything about a mismatch. So maybe just by elimination, you can arrive at D. It's one of the most important strategies for multiple choice is delete the unlikely ones and then guess. Why does he refer to the click of a door? And the thing about this paragraph with this click thing is that it's this linking language here. The however shows you important information. They're saying that a click of a door can mean nothing. However, if the click is part of a dangerous thing, it can engage the audience in suspense. So the click can do different things depending on how they use it. And that's it over there. The click can be modified, can be changed to make the audience have different reactions. Again, very difficult. Just delete the unlikely ones. Wow. Anyway, so that was a terrible reading. I hated doing it. If you didn't do well in it, don't worry. Let's just move on. As you can see, the multiple choice were incredibly difficult. Many students they waste 10 minutes doing the multiple choice and then they get 1 out of 5 anyway. So unless you're really going for band 8, band 9, and unless you have lots of time, I would just fill these in right at the end quickly. Just guess. All right, let's try reading number 3. Hopefully that'll be a bit better.